Hello all. The predictable happened, though it took a somewhat dodgy turn in episode 5 of The War Between the Land and the Sea. As it's the final episode, I'm going to go into it a bit more and cover some spoilers of the series as a whole. The episode itself was as limp as the rest, and there's no war, just people talking about war, a poorly developed relationship that I had no investment in, multiple stories that really didn't knit together, and, as I said in my last review, characters who act as the script requires. It was completely devoid of tension and had a level of stupid you had to fight through. So as I say, I'm going to have to plunge into spoiler territory to talk about this episode. As we know, the Sea Devils came back, announced there was a war, and humans just scrabbled around to appease them, whilst all the plastics and garbage we've put in the sea was dumped back on land. So they have the power to clean the oceans themselves, right? But you also found out that the pollutants don't really bother them after all. During this, there was a stilted, over-convoluted and wildly over-padded conspiracy of humans to end the war by any means. And those means ended up being a targeted, manufactured virus, and Barclay is used as the carrier given his relationship with salt. This is angled as being a monstrous act. Biological warfare is banned under the Geneva Convention after all. However, whilst it is clearly terrible, the Sea Devils, who are technologically far in advance, or so we're told, and therefore are unbeatable, were covertly melting the ice caps would have resulted in the deaths of every non-aquatic species on the planet. Multi-species genocide, if you like. So on balance, it's not the worst of the two acts, especially as the virus is only targeted to reduce the population, not wipe it out. Sure, we're talking the lesser of two evils, but it's considerably lesser. And is it any different to anything done in any alien invasion film? After which there would have been cheering and rejoicing. I get the moral greyness of it. It's a war, and humans have to learn. But I do get bored of that grey. As for Barclay, played by Russell Tovey being Russell Tovey, the supposed protagonist, with a they-them daughter and ex-wife, who falls in love with a fish woman, not sure quite how and when, but I guess you have to buy into the idea of love at first sight. Though why this strong woman would fall for such a beta male is beyond me. I don't like using words like that, but it is appropriate because I don't really engage with the relationship. Barclay comes across as being her simp, really. Anything he does is either guided by her or for her. In fact, we get a weak male lead who spends most of the show being afraid when he's not being told what to do by women. Now, that's not a criticism of female characters, but a commentary on what we are getting from entertainment these days. They strip the masculinity from the male characters. He does have moments of agency, and even heroism, but is mostly just moved around the board by others whilst being afraid or upset. And at the end, he's transformed into part human, part fish, and just dives into the ocean to swim away with salt, bearing in mind he was about 5 minutes earlier getting upset that he might not see his daughter again, though she does get a courtesy call when he's on the way to slap the fish. And at no point gets upset, complains, or questions this change, which is done entirely without his consent. The female Sea Devil Salt clearly used to work for the Tavistock Clinic. And here we get one of my issues with self-proclaimed progressives. I'm sure they think they are doing and saying the right things, and they're probably genuinely decent people. But after all the lectures about climate change, the acceptable left-leaning gender politics, mentions of colonialism and capitalism being bad and humans are bad, we've got the Sea Devils being named by humans supposedly being progressive, but never actually asking them what they want to be called. Jokes about the word homo aqua in a gay context, a joke based on stereotypes of Koreans, and a man transitioned without his consent. Don't get me wrong, as weird as some of this stuff was, the homo aqua jokes specifically seemed anachronistic. It's not something that offends me, but it's the rank hypocrisy from those preaching at us which I find so common. So that aside, which I must admit did affect my enjoyment, it just fell flat. As I mentioned, a war without conflict, a love story without emotional engagement, a protagonist who doesn't grow emotionally, just gets changed into a fish, all hampered by people not acting like people, and stupid stuff happening to make the story work. For example, on that last one, at one point they're going to transport Salt, who is on a truck surrounded by guards, to Unit, but the driver gives the keys to Barclay, and everyone just stands around whilst he walks over to the truck and gets in to drive it, despite them knowing he's compromised. The bit that was a surprise to me that I mentioned in my last review was when Colonel Ibrahim was shot and killed in Kate Lethbridge-Stewart's apartment when he saves her from a hitman's bullet. I didn't expect the conspirators to target her or for him to die, so that was a nice moment. And it seems to have sent Kate off the deep end, as at the end she screams and pulls a gun on a man who litters. But honestly, that felt a bit over the top. And again, we have modern moral ambiguity. And the irony is that the end song is "We Could Be Heroes," when there are no heroes in this show. All in all, it was just meh, yet again. But I still contend it's better than RTD's recent Doctor Who episodes. So what did you think? Did you enjoy it? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Always interested to know and have alternate opinions. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace out.